Hello everyone, and welcome to a video of us exploring a game called Skytear. We believe that it's Skytear. That's how I've heard it pronounced recently.
We recently, like over the past year or two, we're checking out God Tier,
Yeah.
which is spelled similarly.
Clever play on words, like a God tier character is like super good.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to say Sky Tier for a long time. This is one we saw pop up on Kickstarter as well. Both kind of sharing some similarities. Obviously, you have miniatures, you have champion-esque creatures fighting on a hex-based board. So
it's an entry point to miniatures for a lot of board gamers.
Sure.
So it's kind of an in-the-box experience, but it introduces painting if you'd like. It doesn't have the colored plastics to form the different factions, which is not quite as good. But all in all, the production quality of all this stuff is very impressive to me, especially because 117,000 on the Kickstarter or something like that.
In euros, whatever that translates to.
So that was, I think this is a really impressive product. I saw also, I did a lot of research on the Kickstarter before we got into this to see kind of what this was about. And Kickstarter was well received. A lot of people saying this is a really good, well-run Kickstarter, a good bunch of people doing this. PvP Geeks put this on. I think probably first game strikes me as a young Corvus Belli, if you don't mind me saying so. And I think it's just going to be a fascinating little game to look at as we've explored God Tier, Arena Rex, Crisis Protocol, and then all of the things kind of in our past. We're seeing an evolution of this genre becoming a little bit more accessible, and really we just want to kind of keep our eyes on the ball here and see if there's anything particularly notable happening with a game like this.
I will say, outside of some very basic just awareness of this, I knew it was a Kickstarter game in the same kind of, having some of the same benefits of God Tier. But I'm sitting down really seeing this for the first time. Steven had set it up. And things I'm immediately struck by that are at least worth noting and giving kudos to the company. You said PvP Geeks was the company?
Yeah, PvP Geeks, yeah.
The art on this is pretty good. I'm looking at all the cards and the board and the way it all looks. The models also look pretty good. They're a lot smaller than the God Tier models, which I think one of the God Tier things was both being pre-assembled in a plastic color based on faction, and then also large enough to paint for someone new. Because I've been recently getting into painting thanks to Crisis Protocol, and these little like minion guys are tiny.
Yeah.
The like more heroic champions are about the size of the minions in God Tier. But most notably for me actually was this. I don't know if this is standard issue or not.
I think so.
But it's like a lore/art book that I'm kind of just really into. I don't even know how to explain it. Like this Corjef. You have him on your team, right?
Yes, I do.
He's got this great like shaman feather art. Anyways, I like this book a lot.
It's all the flavor. I mean, that's a small thing, but it really does bring this world to life quite a bit. And I think that's important for any kind of a miniatures game. You really just want to feel a part of it and feel like you know what's going on here. All right, let me hop on chat, Zach, so I can keep up with everybody out there.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to say hi to some folks on chat.
Say hi, would you?
Discarded Reroll, what's the ETA? We're live. Here we are.
Zero.
King of the Dawn is saying, been loving the podcast, guys. The interview with Andrew was great. I wish you could have talked more about FFG, but I'm sure that was off limits.
You'd be right.
Bingo.
We didn't even ask. I mean, it's just kind of like, okay, we know how this works.
Just future focused. Let's see. That's really about it. Everyone. All
right. Well, let me initiate you into the into the
more.
World of Defense of the Ancients. So, I feel like I can actually flex a little bit on this one because I was there in the very early days. I believe it was StarCraft custom game was where it originally started, but I remember playing it primarily as a Warcraft custom game. If you weren't familiar, you never dove into this world. So what it was is you had
I heard about it. I just never played it.
You know, by Blizzard was kind of the turning point for that kind of genre of game for a lot of people. And what they did was they included a map editor with the game itself, so that anybody could use all of their assets and their code and all of that to make anything they wanted out of the pieces that they had made Warcraft with.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so people like Jonathan would get on there and we would make custom games, and it'd be like, I'll run you through an entire campaign that I've created.
Wow.
Where you're actually the orcs and you're the good guys and you're trying, like, we did all sorts of stuff.
It was that like granular in what you could change.
You write your own prompts, you write...
Superpower, you could give them new abilities, program the abilities.
There was triggers, so like at the moment they went to this place on the map, something would happen. Like,
wow.
You got the whole thing, and that's what kind of made this game explode, because everybody got on Battle.net and would put up custom games of stuff that they'd made.
So you could go play custom games outsourced by thousands of players.
Absolutely. And it was everything from like tag to, you know, like Life of a Peasant to like racing games, maze games, tower defense. That's where that started.
Do you
for me,
ever
at least.
wonder why? Do you feel like this may already exist, but I feel like something on that scale in tabletop.
I want that so bad, Zach. That's
Yeah,
my dream.
well, in some ways,
How have I never heard of this?
I think that's kind of the promise of the Taburu-style systems, is that they might give you like a certain set of components that you can manipulate to make whatever games you want, and you just throw the rules to your game out, and then people can use whatever they have to make that happen.
I just think about something like Arkham Horror, the card game, and it's like if, as a player, you could construct scenarios for other people to play.
People do. Too. People, it's
But
just
if it was like
not
accessible
quite,
enough,
that's what Blizzard did. Is they were like,
yeah,
go
that's
get
why
it.
the ability on the computer to just access what anyone else has created was what made that hyper valuable.
So on that note, one of the most famous and popular things became known as Defense of the Ancients. The Ancients, in at least the context that I was understanding it
How
in.
cool would it be to make something like that? And then it's, anyways.
Yeah, so the Ancients were these big trees that you had in Warcraft. And so they would be what are represented now as the towers. And you would have a hero, and you'd be running across a lane trying to kill the opponent's ancient, and then the other heroes would try to stop you from doing that. And an entire subculture developed around that game alone. And so version after version was balanced and tweaked, and new heroes were added, new characters were added, the maps were changed to be more, and just like it took off.
So wait, was the original Defense of the Ancients created by a player?
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ice Frog was the one that I remember, but it was probably older than that.
That's amazing.
So anyway, all of that developed, and then companies spun out of that and actually made official versions. There's League of Legends, Heroes of New Earth, Dota, Defense of the Ancients, they actually got the name. And there's probably others too. So that all came from a custom map that was done in this genre. And so now we have tabletop games that are emulating that same thing. The general point of this style of game, now known as a MOBA game, is to basically you have hordes of minions that are constantly spawning and pushing towards your opponent's side of the board. And the role of your heroes is to help them get all the way into your opponent's base and start wrecking it. That was kind of the original idea of the game. So that's represented actually in Skytear here, where we have 2 control tokens on the right and left side of the board. And as we go and control these areas, those tokens are going to push towards my opponent's tower, and then it's going to spawn minions there rather than back further. So those minions start to become a bigger and bigger problem for you, and they contribute to a control kind of score that will then start whittling down your tower. Once your tower is gone, it'll start moving towards your nexus, and that represents how, as you destroy the defenses of your opponent's base, your minions can more easily move and go destroy it.
Okay.
So that's kind of the basis of the game, and generally what our heroes contribute to this effort is A, assisting our minions in pushing to the opponent's base, or B, killing our opponent's heroes or defeating our opponent's heroes to gain experience, to get gold for weapons, to buff yourself, and also to keep them out of the way of your minions so they can keep rolling.
Sure.
So there's a constant tension between support, which is like helping your minions and pushing towers, and then what was at least at the time called ganking, which is going and attacking your opponent's heroes and trying to defeat them, because then they go on this long clock and they can't be in the game for 20, 30, 40 seconds. The more that they die, the higher that clock goes. So if you keep getting wrecked, you get longer and longer and longer to come back in the game. So there's a lot of theories about how best to win. Sometimes you're pushing as a team, sometimes you're soloing to get more experience as a solo player, sometimes you're grouping up and going across the lane to go attack the opponent's heroes.
That's
that was
crazy.
the whole story. And then lastly, there was a weird mechanic that was like called Roshan, at least in this one, which is a big scary thing essentially in the middle of the map. And if you rolled in there and as a team or as an individual were able to kill Roshan, it dropped like a respawn thing, so it gave you an extra life. So you could carry this Ankh around, and you also got a ton of experience, and your whole team got a bunch of gold. So there's also this kind of mini game where the first team to be strong enough to go kill this big thing in the middle would get an advantage as well.
That's awesome.
And so that's represented by the Guardian here, the outsider in Skytear. So this middle section, rather than pushing minions back and forth, we're actually going to just be playing for control of the middle section. And whoever controls this thing will then get to bring this big bad thing in here and do some damage. And then it will stay there, and as control is done, it will move around, and we're kind of trying to pinball it basically back and forth
hurt the other person,
to hurt the other team. Yeah. And that's basically the rundown of like how this whole genre functions. At least in my head, as somebody who's been playing it for many years,
Well, according to Daniel Evelton, he says, fantastic explanation, Stephen. You're well studied in the MOBA.
Oh, well, thank you. Great.
Yep. You've achieved master of MOBA.
It was only about 8 years of my life that it took to get that level.
Gone.
Yeah, college. So what we're going to do is...
Is that what your degree's in, MOBA?
Yeah, it's in MOBA and philosophy. So I'm going to set up our first game according to the rules, and I'm going to walk you through what that process was.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is we flip 3 victory cards here. These are a random stack of cards that will define a set of win conditions that will change every game.
And these are just the alternate win conditions.
If any one of these is achieved by you or I, the game is over.
And is there a fundamental win condition that's not these 3?
Defeating your opponent's nexus.
So
has to be.
Yeah.
I haven't even read, but it has to be.
You know that's the truth.
Yeah,
okay. I'll believe you.
So we'll flip those 3, or maybe it's not, but I imagine it would be. So we're going to be playing if we destroy the right tower.
Okay.
So you're trying to destroy this one, I'm trying to destroy that one. The game is over. So that's a very special
And is destroying
zone.
it different than like controlling it or like...
To destroy it, you will need to do 5 damage to remove it from the board because it has 5 hit points represented by these tower markers.
Okay.
And you will do damage based on the minions phase, where if you're overwhelming that side of the board, whatever you're overwhelming in addition to what your opponent's bringing, you're going to do that many points in damage. So that's one way to win. Another way to win is starting from the second turn, we have to have 2 control tokens adjacent to the enemy nexus. So these are control tokens, they'll keep moving. So this one isn't, I don't think will ever be possible in addition to this one, because these boys are going to keep moving. Oh, I guess this one might. This one might move as well. We'll see if that does. Move, and then if it's adjacent to the nexus, then we'll win that too. And I bet
But
that's
so
how that
basically,
happens.
if I get both of these tokens next to both of your towers,
yes,
on a turn, I win.
next to my nexus, I think is what
Ooh.
it says. Yeah, adjacent to enemy towers or nexus. You're right. You're absolutely right. So this would be a win for me.
So I don't want that to happen.
You don't want that to happen.
All right.
No, that's no good.
We'll make that not happen.
Yeah, thank you. And then finally, Skytear Master. Win the lead of a control token, so basically control that token inside the dome 3 times. So if you have the most going on in here 3 times, then you will
And that's
win.
like controlling is at the end of the round or something?
Yeah, so we'll basically do a big hero turn where all the heroes go, and then we'll do a minion turn where we calculate control of everything and move the minions up or down.
Okay.
So this is basically controlling the outsider and being the boss in the middle here. This is kind of a unilateral push across both sides, and this is going all in on the right side.
All right.
Either of those or all 3 of those are great ways to win. Then we're going to determine the first player, which I determined to be me. Then we're going to set the mana counter to 1, which is right here. This is the round counter and the mana counter. So every round, whatever number round that is how many mana each of your heroes has.
That's cool.
So we all have 1 mana to start. Next round, everyone will have 2 mana, and that's what we'll use to play power cards out of our hand.
And is the game over after 5?
Yes. If at the end of the 5th round, I believe nothing is determined, then I think it's over. I think I read that somewhere, but surely that won't happen. Then we actually draft factions. So usually the first player picks a faction, second player picks 2, and then I pick the last
The old
one.
snake draft.
And once we do that, we place all our hero cards on the side of the board and just get all of that set up.
So
and place our
presumably
heroes around the
you would bring
nexus.
all 4 factions to a game.
Presumably. I think the vast majority of time this happens, you and I are just going to get together and play the one army that we want to play.
This is also just the basic setup rule.
Yeah.
So I assume you can bring whatever you want.
I have heard that the competitive possibility, basically the deep level possibility for this game to get all of your attention is very high. So the deck building, the construction of the deck, all of that is very much adding to like the appeal of this for a player who wants to really dive into one game heavily, which traditionally I kind of enjoy that. Then we get
don't say.
2 decks of power cards, and for the quick start mode, we just take our 2 factions stacks and shuffle them together.
Sure.
So in the future games, you can pre-construct a deck and kind of pick and choose from your different factions. Then we draw power cards in mulligan. We're not going to worry about a mulligan. I drew 6 because I'm first. You draw 5.
Did it.
And then we build our towers using all of the things we've done here. So 5 hit points in each tower square, represented by little tower icons. Then we place 2 control tokens randomly between the 1 and the 2. So the 2 will resolve second, the 1 will resolve first, and the 3 is always going to resolve last.
Okay.
And that's just for tidiness. I'm not sure how much that actually matters. Then we rally the minions. We get 2 on each side, and they have to be as close to the control token as possible. This is the setup that was recommended in the book. But anytime we're placing minions, if you don't have one on the control point, it has to be there. And then next is the closest within 1, and then even within 2 if that's all filled up. And minions of opposite teams, 1 of each can be on a hex at the same time, but 2 of yours can't be on the same hex.
Makes sense.
So we kind of have a little face-off going. And then we summon the outsider. We place the outsider card here, and there's a ton of different outsiders in the game. And they all do different things. So I don't know if that's a random thing or if that's something you might bring with your deck and roll off for or whatever it is. But there, I saw a bunch of different outsiders.
This guy's nice and creepy.
Yeah, pretty cool, right? And the models look good.
Yeah.
Don't they?
The main thing is they're pre-assembled.
And then there's also rules for...
They can look however they want.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just don't have to. There's also rules for multiplayer. We talk a lot about controlling 1 hero each. There's rules for that, and then even bigger amounts of players that can be accommodated.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
So I'm going to be kind of helping us through the rules with the Book of Power here. There's going to be some things that we're probably going to get very confused on, and everybody out there can learn with us and stick with us on that. But the general flow of the game is going to be a hero's turn and then a minion's phase or a minion's turn. And so you'll see your little hero actions card that you've got here next to you. You can take 3 actions when you activate a hero, and you have to take different actions. You can't take 2 of the same ones in a row. And for our purposes, we've cut out all abilities, so we're playing the super simple version, and if we have time, we'll switch to the advanced version where everyone has powers and is very unique and interesting.
Cool.
That also would bring in the worship ability where that would matter. But until then, we're just gonna move, which everybody moves 3 spaces. That's me moving, not hard to imagine. Skirmish, we can do these 3 things in any order. Move a hex, deal 0 plus a card's worth of damage. Anytime I see a number with a plus sign, I flip the top card and I add whatever this is to it.
+0 wouldn't
Plus
be
0
so
would
great.
not be ideal.
Not exactly lighting the world on fire.
And with a skirmish, you can only attack enemy heroes. So this is kind of the, I'm sneaking around and I'm trying to kind of ambush you.
Got you.
Way to get extra movement as well. Then you can attack and you can target a hero or a minion. All heroes have an armor score. A lot of them are 0, some of them are 1. And then all minions have an armor of 0 and they have 1 hit point. So
any
doing 1
damage
to a
gets rid
minion,
of
it
them.
gets off the board. If you do damage to a hero, it's tracked on our little health track here. And then once you go to 0, if you were active, you'll come in on the next turn. If you were exhausted, you'll come in on the turn after.
So there's basically always a turn you miss when you go down.
Yeah. Now, if you were exhausted, you miss an entire next turn. So that's a real bummer.
Yeah, but you got to activate this turn. So basically, you skip 1 activation.
Correct.
No matter
You
what
are
happens.
correct. And then finally, lead, which is the one thing that's going to be very important for us to do and one thing that we're going to forget to do, which is the hidden variable. You take a card from your hand or you can take a random card, so from the top of the deck.
I like that.
And slide it under there.
From the top rope.
Yep. And then whenever we go to control the control token, any heroes that have line of sight within 3 of that thing are going to be able to flip their lead cards and contribute that to the kind of end total.
And did you explain line of sight yet?
Yeah, I haven't. Yes, I have no bananas.
Yes, I don't.
So line of sight is not blocked by figures. The only thing that blocks line of sight is these little squares that have the eyeballs with the things through them.
Like trees or whatever.
And those are considered like hiding places. And so, for instance, if you're here, line of sight is also within 3 hexes any direction. And let's say I'm here. I can go 1, 2, 3. So technically I have line of sight except for the fact that you are in the bushes here. Now the one exception to that rule is if I have an adjacent hero, I now have line of sight to you in those spaces.
So both those characters can see you, presumably.
Yeah, so it's kind of a fog of war thing. If
Now,
I'm close enough to you, then I give you some intel.
She being in the forest, can she see out of it?
Yes, absolutely. As long
Classic.
as the thing you're targeting is not inside that hex, you don't have to worry about it. Even if there's a forest between us, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just if you're in the space or not.
All right.
And a lot of these things I'm saying with absolute confidence because we're on camera, but I'm about 80% sure on most of
everything.
these rules.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So just keep that in
It seems
mind.
like there's a handful of people in chat that know what's going on.
Good.
So that's
you
good.
guys got us. Good. Okay, are you ready to start?
Sure. You're first, right?
I'm first. So I am the first hero. And I guess you should know how control works because that's really important.
Yeah, we can figure that out. I'm just kidding.
So at the end of after we've done all of our hero stuff, we're going to count any minion within 3 of the control token. And that's going to count as 1 point. Then we're going to count any hero in line of sight of the control token. That counts as 1 point. Then we're going to flip all lead cards of heroes that can see that control token, and that'll contribute those points. And then whoever has a higher number, we're going to sacrifice the difference in minions. So if I have a 5 and you have a 4, you're going to lose 1 minion.
Yep.
If I have a 7 and you have a 4, you're going to lose 2 minions, and then there's 1 extra point, and that's going to go essentially nowhere.
And it has to be minions on that control point?
Yeah, so within, like, I think it's got to be within 3 of the control point. We'll run down the official minion
I assume
rules.
it's any minion contributing control to it.
Yes. Yeah, that's
That-
how
that
I
would
would
make
that's how
sense.
I'd read it as well.
But I couldn't basically lose these minions to take care of that loss.
Correct. Now, I need to reread this, but I believe that once the control point is pushed, so after that happens, then however much I won by, let's say I won by 3, I get to move this 3 spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if I control this again, extra damage will go to your tower instead of anywhere else.
That makes sense.
Where it might
Instead of
go.
minions and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, do the models that are on that thing move with it?
After that thing moves, all minions move and respawn at the same
Snap
time.
next to it.
They snap, so anything that's here is going to snap, and then we'll both respawn 2 more minions
Got you. All
from,
right.
from the control point.
I like the kind of tug of war
Mm-hmm.
aspect going on here.
It seems super reasonable. So let's make some just questionable decisions.
Hey, that's how you learn, right? Don't you love both teaching and learning a new game on camera?
Yeah, it's
No-
great. Hey,
nothing
that's
quite
why,
like
that's
it.
why we get paid the big bucks.
That's right.
And if you see a power card with somebody's portrait on it, it's an ultimate, and it probably is not going to matter. So just use it as a lead card because we're playing simple version.
Got you. Someone said, don't forget the white lines blocking line of sight.
Yes,
What's-
good
what's-
point. So you can move like this however you want, but these are a hard block of line of sight. So generally, you have action in the power dome, as it were, and then you have action outside of the power dome. You can move through it, but you can't see through it.
And can minions move through this?
Can what?
Can minions move through this?
I don't think minions will ever be over here because they'll always be so close. The control token always has to move as close to the towers as possible,
And the minions don't move, though.
and the minions will have to spawn next to the control point. So I can't even imagine a world where they would even be interacting with this at all.
But, like, do they ever move? Okay.
They just follow the control token around and kind of pop out.
I'll figure that
around
out.
it.
Yep. All right.
All right, so how about I go first? Let's go with Gulbjarn, Wild Sovereign.
He's a bear man.
Half bear, half man, seemingly. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is, it's a melee hero. I can see in the damage icon it has a little sword as opposed to a bow. So I have to be next to something to attack it.
And I do want to point out, you mentioned it earlier, but I think the cards popping up are going to be the full card, and we're just using the simple version.
Yeah, we're using
Which
the really simple version.
It's super cool. So the full version has a bunch of text and whatnot, but the simple version on the back just basically has the art and the basic stats. I really like that as a way to basically simplify that first couple of games. Or, you know, I know a lot of people like play with their kids and whatnot, so that's a nice way to package that, I think.
Yeah.
Without being like, hey, ignore all that stuff that's there that you can read.
Absolutely. And also on the advanced side, you're only going to be able to use power cards that match your ruins on your card. So like certain heroes can only play certain types of magic.
Yeah, like this guy I noticed has the fire and the earth
Right on.
looking rune.
And we won't worry about
Whereas
that.
she has the air fire.
So when you're building your team, you know, you can start to think about how that's going to go.
I'm just taking a look here. I see.
Okay.
By the way, apparently in constructed play, you bring 6 heroes. Is that the right name for them? Heroes?
Yeah, that's fine.
Heroes, and then your opponent bans 1, and then you pick 4 of the 5 remaining to be your team.
Nice. Yeah, that makes all the sense. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. Dude, you know, I already see it. It's already happened.
I got it.
So you kind of got to make a choice here. I'm just going to get in the fray. Let's start out with Gulbjarn, like I said. So we're going to go a move of 3.
Right.
1, 2, 3. And so I know that I'm going to be controlling that hex, which is, we're contributing to the control point, which is nice.
Plus you're in the little forest.
Actually, here, check this out. Here's what we'll do.
All right.
Let's start with a skirmish. So I'm going to move 1 hex, and then I can deal 0 plus to an enemy hero, which I don't have the option to do. But then I will do a move. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I'm a bear, so I can probably take some damage.
You are a bear.
And then my third action, I will do an attack against this minion.
Okay.
So it's a 3+, which means there's no way this is going to fail.
But you never know.
But 3 plus
It's
0.
like -8. Sweet.
So 3 damage, 0 armor, 1 health.
So he goes off the
Yeah,
board.
removed.
Do I just put him anywhere?
You can put him right back here on your little Nexus pool waiting to happen.
Oh, because these guys aren't in yet.
Yeah, they're not in. There's no hexes back there. That's
I
your little
see.
spawning
I couldn't see under the...
spawning beacon.
Okay.
All right, and that's it. So now I'm going to exhaust my card and signal that that is complete.
And control is within 3 of this thing?
Yes.
Well, how about that? All right.
Notice how I didn't take that lead action that I thought that I wanted to take.
Yes, it seems important. But you do you. I'm going to go with Sakoshi. I love this guy immediately.
Yeah, I figured you would.
It's
I
like
gave you the
lava
red, I got
plus
the blue, and
martial
we'll
arts.
move
He's
on.
got the little like throwing stars made of lava.
Sick. And you flip 2 cards on your attack.
Yeah, he's pretty
which is
crazy.
Great.
So he's going to move here.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's going to attack. He's ranged, so it's within 3.
Boom, you got it.
Bear time.
Okay, here's the beautiful thing. Let's start this off. So you declare an attack. That starts what's called a stack, and I think it's like a standard Magic the Gathering kind of stack. So then you can play a reaction from your hand if you would like. You only have 1 mana to spend, so it can only have 1 ruin on the top left corner.
I have won
for
the
it
whole
to apply.
turn.
Yes.
So if I spend 1, it's done.
It's per hero. Because
That's-
that will
that's
go
better.
on, that
Yeah.
will go on the hero, and then you'll know.
I was like, man, that's going to be tight real quick. So if I pass, but then you play something, can I play something after that? Is it back and forth like that? Or is it
Yes.
I do all my stuff? I assume that seems like...
It seems like the natural way to do it, right?
Like,
Basically, you
I
play
play a
cards
thing
until you pass. and
until
then
I pass. Or I play a card or pass.
Hold on, let's look at it. This is where chat could really help us too.
Yeah, I
'cause,
feel like play or pass makes sense. And then you play or pass until we both pass. But I didn't design this game.
I bet. I mean, so here we go.
Insightful Strike, yes. He's asking, is this like a MOBA? Very much so.
It says the active player, the one taking the current activation, has priority first. The player with priority may play 1 or more reaction power cards, pass priority to the next player in clockwise order.
One opportunity. One
It
shot.
seems like one opportunity.
All right.
But then, once all players pass consecutively, the top effect of the stack is resolved. After it's resolved, each player may respond to the next effect on the stack. Good luck.
And reactions are, I get it now. I get it. Reactions are the double arrow. So good luck. We'll see how this goes. Okay. So, but if I put a card in a stack, I can stack up 3 cards if I want.
I think so.
And then as they're resolving, we each get a chance to react. That's what the reaction cards are about. Right? Is that what you just said?
I would believe that. Yeah, that's what it said. Once all players pass consecutively, the top effect of the stack is in the last one generated is resolved. And then after an effect is resolved, each player may respond to the next effect on the stack.
Greg's saying it's almost exactly like the Magic the Gathering stack rules. You go until both players pass.
Okay, so like spoils, basically.
Can I see that real quick? I just want
Yeah.
to get my hands around this.
Get
Where am
my
I
hands
looking?
around this beautiful book?
All right.
All right, so both players pass. Daniel, is it both players pass simultaneously? So I play a reaction, Zach has a chance to react to that, then I have a chance to react to that, then he has a chance to react. And then once we both stop, it starts resolving down the ladder? Is that how that works?
Once all players pass consecutively, the top effect of the stack, the last one generated resolve. So we keep playing cards until we both pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then
top
the
one
cards
resolves,
resolve.
But then we can respond after each resolution, right? That's what it says underneath there. That's the part that I think
After
is...
an effect is resolved, each player may respond to the next effect on the stack. Once again, starting with the active player, this continues until all effects are resolved and the stack is empty.
So we stack them all up,
All right,
and then as they resolve...
Example of the stack.
Oh, I've seen it.
Hero B declares an attack action targeting Hero A. That's what I just did. The attack action is in effect and goes on top of the stack. In response, Hero A, so B declared the attack. I'm Hero B because I'm the second player. A plays the dodge power card. The power card generates an effect that goes on top of the stack. All players pass and the effect of dodge is resolved, placing Hero A in an adjacent hex. All players pass and the effect on top of the stack, the attack, is now resolved.
Mm-hmm.
So you can basically react as things are
Okay.
going out of the queue.
I believe you. All right, here we go. I think we got some help on chat too.
All right.
Magic book. All right, you have a declared attack action on the stack. Priority player has a window to player pass. That's you. Then it shifts to the opposite player at both pass. Resolve the top effect. Then rinse and repeat.
All right,
Cool.
so I attacked.
All right, do you have anything to play to that?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I'm going to play Crippling Precision. Target hero gets +1 attack. When they damage an enemy hero with an attack action or a skirmish action, apply slow to that enemy.
Okay.
And that's my 1 energy.
I'm going to teach you something really devastating. I will have a reaction as well. I'm going to use my little first player bonus,
Boo.
which is the next non-ultimate power card you play costs 1 less mana.
That's you.
So I can play a 2-cost card. That's my reaction. And then it
Ooh.
goes back to you, I think.
Pass.
Okay. Then I'll play Time Warp with old Gulbjarn. It's a 2 mana, but it's -1 for that. And it says move the caster 1 hex. And I'm going to do this to pop into the bubble. Now you have a chance to react.
I have nothing.
Okay, so then I guess then this would have reacted and done its thing. Then your thing happens, which is on. And
+1
then
attack. Sweet.
Your attack attempts to resolve,
But it
since
can't.
you no longer have line of sight. It is canceled.
Well played. Well played.
Thanks.
What did I just realize besides how bad that was? I thought of something as that was happening, and then I forgot it. I'll come back to it.
And you'll get
later.
more power cards as we go, too. I think you kind of
Yeah.
burned through them pretty quickly.
I'm not worried about it.
So that was a move and then an attack. You still have 1...
Yep, the attack fizzles. Great. All right, that's cool.
yeah.
Let's see.
You want to run down your options? You could lead, so you could buff this tower, this control,
Yep.
with a card in your hand. Like a 3-mana card is an incredible thing to do there. You could skirmish to come into the money pit with me and do 1 damage to the bear, or more, or 0 plus whatever you flip. That's about it, as far as I can tell. What kind of person are you?
That's a good question. I'm gonna lead.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right, nice.
Tapped.
Done. We can't say tapped. That is a trademarked word courtesy of Wizards of the Coast.
We can say whatever we want. We can't sell a game with the word tapped in it.
Exhausted or otherwise played out. Okay, now next up. Put some pressure on...
I know they'll never do it. They'd score so many public PR good points if they would just be like, you know what? We own these words, but they're free to use. We're going to go public domain on this stuff.
yeah.
Everyone knows what a tap is.
Important to note, too, defeating an enemy hero, you draw 2 cards. Damaging an enemy tower or nexus, you draw 1 card. And end of the minions phase, we're both going to draw 2 cards.
All right.
So these kind of act as experience. So as you do things that are good, you get more power cards, which means you're better at things.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Hey, look, you have a -1 on that card. I told you that. See the...
Yeah, that's good balancing.
Yeah.
Because it's incredibly
So when
good
you're like,
card.
oh, there's no way for me to miss, that could happen. You could miss.
Yeah.
I'm just going to scan through my values real quick.
My values. Okay, and so I'm basically looking at anything with 1 mana.
Okay. Ricardo asking, no Marvel Champions Wrecking Crew gameplay today. There's going to be a lot of issues with that. One of which is it doesn't come out till Friday, so
We can't get the cards.
we don't have it. 2, we're going to have to find a pack somehow if that's ever going to happen. So
We're not taking it from
We'll see.
subscribers, so it's
Yeah.
going to be a while.
yeah,
It's going to be a while. All right, hey, this is fine. Yeah, why don't we do this? No, because it's not worth doing.
don't think about it too
That's
much.
That's a turn 2 card. Let's do Akhuti. Akhuti's going to go.
So like, smart thing for me to do would have been pass. Then if you want to dodge the attack, I don't have to waste my card.
I would say that is the smart thing to do, yes. So let's go.
Bryce in the background.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That puts me in range. My first action is move. Second action, I'm going to lead
I don't think you should do that.
my minions. Third action, I do have the little range symbol, so I can hit anything within 3 that's not in cover. So let's crush this minion here. 1, 2, 3. I'm currently doing 2 plus 2. So
I thought that was
4
minus
damage.
2. I was very happy all of a sudden, and then I was not.
And then it's over to you.
Over to you, Kent. Let's see. Okay, axe, I get it. I don't know why, but I am so drawn to attacking your heroes.
You should. I mean, it's a valid strategy. It always has been.
Always has been.
Always has been.
All right, let's go with, I don't even know who is this person. This guy.
Yep.
Let's go with
Say the name.
Cotlic. Cotlic.
Cotlic?
Cotlic. Cotlic. All right, he's going
Forgotten age
to
flashbacks.
move.
Oh, really?
Escape me this time, Wooly. Attack.
All right. Do you have any reactions to that?
None yet.
I have none reactions.
Sweet,
So then it
see
just
fast.
resolves,
So it
right?
resolves.
Yeah.
So I've got a 3 melee attack plus 1 card.
Okay.
So we'll flip it. It's a +3.
Woo!
So I'm going to be hitting you for 6.
Yikes.
And do I get any bonus?
1,
Anything
2,
happen
3,
when I
4,
damage your
5,
hero?
6. No, just when you knock me off.
All right. We'll be doing that later. Then I'll go ahead and lead, because I'm within 3, that counts.
You don't have line of sight to it, but it would count for this one.
Okay.
Or you could skirmish out.
I don't have line of sight because of the, but
Because
I
of the
can't
zone.
skirmish out and also lead. It's not
That's correct.
how that works. All right. Well, sure, I'll do it. We'll test the waters.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. I'm sorry, it's really affected us as well. We're not happy with things. Another lead, you said? Oh, I need to do that there. Okay, so back to me. Do we want to have a scram dangle here in the middle? Or should I put some pressure?
Ooh, Cody White, when you cast your power cards, make sure you put them on the hero that cast the card.
Very true. Very good point.
So they stay.
Yeah, because that's the mana that you've used. Because exhausted heroes can still use power cards.
But I don't get this bonus forever.
I think you get that bonus for the whole turn.
Well, it's not going to matter.
Right? Target hero gets +1 attack when they damage an enemy hero with an attack action or a skirmish attack.
But it's not like a permanent thing I learn?
No, so once at the end of the round, all these cards are going to go away.
Okay, cool.
Lead cards and spells you've
I'm
cast
with it.
and all of that. Yeah. Okay, next up, I have to decide how to make you feel about things. So let's go with Corjef, the bird shapeshifter. Looks very cool. We're going to start with a classic move. 1, 2, 3.
A 3?
2, 3. Yeah, just an absolute classic.
Now, my minions only count for control points, effectively.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
They're fancy control pointers.
They are. Then we're going to launch an attack against your minion there, which is range 3. So here we go.
Minus
+2.
3. You got them.
Gone. And then, see, you don't want to lead too much because it can be very much wasted. Because like right now, my total is only going to move the token up to 3. Any more than that is a waste of time. So I currently have 3 points here to your 1 point. So if I lead a big card here, it could just be a complete waste of time.
But I did lead with him.
You did, which is terrifying.
Who knows? I like that he's standing on a treasure chest.
All right, I'll lead there because I'm a traditional player and I believe in minions.
Didn't know you like that movie.
Okay, so this is good. Thank you, Greg. Power cards fall off when the hero exhausts, unless it says otherwise. So at the end of the turn, anything that you got that was like buffing you goes away.
So it should be gone.
Yeah, so that would be gone, correct. You get the bonus at the end of the activation, conditions as well, like fast and slow and those kinds of things. So Crippling Precision stops working once the hero exhausts.
Okay, cool. So
technically you could like do that as your first action, you know, do an attack with that, and then do a skirmish and hit another hero and slow both of them. Which should be pretty sweet.
interesting. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go here with Tlakali.
Tequila, huh?
Tlakali. Move 1, 2, 3.
Nice cover.
Then we're gonna go ahead and shoot here.
Yep.
So I've got a 2 plus 1, so 3.
Easy.
Ping. Then I will.
You feel like the second turn is going to be way saucy?
It's gonna be crazy. That's how I feel. Yeah.
We're gonna have the old Rochambeau in the middle here. I either give you that opening.
That's good. That's all I got.
Okay.
Well, I get another action, I guess.
Yeah.
Period.
Skirmish, lead. Did the old move attack. You could skirmish yourself right into the Roshan zone, kind of make me have to get in there. But then you're pretty exposed. I feel like I could come up and slice you. You don't look like somebody who has a lot of anti-slicing.
And I can't attack again. That's the downside.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Cody, we got you.
Let's just lead. Let's just use my whole hand.
All right, done. And then lastly, so I got one action, and basically what I'm looking at is if I go to the middle, then you kind of have to go to the middle or lose control, and I get to push this monster onto you. So you can tie it where nothing would happen, or you can probably come over here and reinforce this and start pushing me up the right, which is the win condition.
Nah.
Just a million things being considered. Is this guy have a lead card? Yes.
Yeah.
Golly.
Gotta lead.
So then it might not even matter at all.
Just saying, my deck has a whole bunch of 3s in it. I got Bryce for that one. Oh no.
All right then. How about thee? Have you considered?
I watched Ophelia this weekend.
Ophelia.
So that I was talking in those types of words for a day or two.
What, you want to get saucy?
That's the whole point of the game.
Okay, let's get saucy. First is
Leroy Jenkins.
dang it, I can't move through your stuff. I could try to come up and get a piece of you though.
Come on in. Water's warm.
Okay. Or I could do that too. There's some good possibilities here, actually. More than I thought. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I should go after these casters, right? Doesn't that feel right? And I can move over control markers, right? Does anybody know that? I'm pretty certain I can. Let's make sure. That's going to matter a lot. Okay, what are blocking elements? Let's see. Blocking elements are friendly or enemy heroes, friendly or enemy towers and nexuses, and outsiders. The control token is neither of those. So watch this.
Picture this.
Okay, here, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm still blocked with line of sight though. Man, the Thunderdome is kind of a wild idea, isn't it? Ugh. Okay, skirmish first.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunately going to be a wasted thing. So 2 moves.
Could have attacked. It's crazy.
I know, it sucks. Then we're going to do a move.
I love how much Steven needs value. What's the name of this hero again? For those at home?
Thank you. Haburet.
Like Kakarot?
And then we'll do a move. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Get ganked.
Top side, front side.
And then I'm declaring an attack. My first response, I have 0.
I'll also pass. What's your attack?
Attack resolves. It is 4 plus 2 cards. Ready to die? 6. Minus 1. 5.
I feel like your 1, 2, 3, 4. Bonuses for attacks are not so hot.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's the thing on the desert people. It's like they have great spells but bad
attacks.
I mean, it's perfect balancing.
Yeah, that's super good.
Right? Okay, that's my 3 actions, and I'm done.
All right, you ready to get wrecked?
Yes.
Let's go with Yami.
That's why that first player gets a little bonus card.
I
and
think
bonus ability.
You need, yeah, it's good because especially the first turn, like the first action, you almost can't attack. You're not close enough. You got rid of some minions, but it forces you into that. All right, so I'm gonna go with Yami. You think it's Yami?
Yami, yeah.
It's not Yami.
It's not Yami. I think it's Yami.
Welcome to Oklahoma. Howdy. All right, so Yami is going to skirmish.
How is it strange? Is it amazing to you that 2 people from Oklahoma can be playing a game made by a few people in Italy who went to Kickstarter and then sent this around the world?
And then this came out.
And now everybody out here is watching us do it live.
There's tons of people from all over the world watching us. Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
If you ever just stop and think about what's actually happening,
It's
yeah,
pretty
it's
cool.
pretty crazy. On that note, I'm going to skirmish. So we're going to move 2 hexes next to your bear, Bjorn. Gulbjarn.
Hold on. So it's not 4 + 2 - 1. You choose only 1 card to add to the thing. So it's 6 damage, not 5. All right.
Convenient.
Thank you, Gail. Okay. Are you in the middle of doing something? Sorry.
I skirmish, so I
Uh-oh.
bounce here.
That scythe looks
So
like
then I
bad
get
news.
a free attack, right?
Yeah.
I won't add anything to the skirmish yet.
I have a... No, I don't have a response.
Am I good to reveal?
Yeah, reveal on.
+1, so 1 damage to your bear.
It's just a skirmish.
Yep.
Down to 11.
Then I'm going to attack the bear with my 2+ a card.
Mm-hmm. You have a reaction?
No, not yet.
I don't either.
All right, 2 + 3. Let's make it 5.
Whoa. Why you pull that great
Look at
card
that
out of nowhere?
art too. I told you I have a lot of 3s.
What card is it?
You have all the cards?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know we had all the cards. The 1000th ritual. Look at that art.
Wow, cool. I'll tell you, the art style is good.
If I'd known you had all the cards, I would have been saying
It's
them all.
distinct. It's a distinct art style.
Yeah, they got their own vibe. That's
It's
what
well done.
I mentioned this earlier. But they have a whole book of their universe and their art.
This was
you
not
like that
thrown
I can pull
together.
this at any time?
This is very good.
And they have it's a lot of times with smaller companies and games, the art will kind of be hodgepodge.
Yeah.
It's like whatever they can get for whatever they can get from random artists because they have to have like 30 different artists. But this all feels very much like it's from the same cloth.
It feels like somebody who has been drawing these things for years and years, like Jonathan would.
Yeah.
And they had a universe in mind for like the past decade. Let me actually see if the credits, yeah. Artists. There are 5 artists.
They all share a last name.
No. Kim Van Doon, Jack Kaiser, Bogdan Antoci, Marco Fiedler, and Alba Palacio.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I think it speaks to the art direction as well. Like
Yeah.
someone's able to get.
The world building is Riccardo Parmigiani and Thomas Foster.
Man, you're taking on a big task by pulling out names because it's
I
really
was
easy to get those wrong.
spelling bee champion in 8th grade. I went to regionals.
That's oddly specific.
I lost on the word dormitory.
Really?
Yeah, I spelled it with an A instead of an I, and then I cried.
Is that why you can spell really well now? You took that fire and it was
Yeah,
like never
probably.
again.
Probably. That,
Yeah.
I mean, it was, obviously I got there to begin with, so I wasn't a scrub up front. But
I don't know. Regionals is just.
hopefully only got better.
Hey, Daniel says, so true, guys. Love the global community around games today and the awesome community you've helped cultivate.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
great. Anyways, so I attacked you. You took 5 damage.
Yeah, you skirmished, then you attacked and whatnot.
Then I have 1 action left.
Yeah.
Let's move.
Oh, you didn't even move.
That was my skirmish to get there.
What? You skirmished for 2.
Skirmish.
Oh my gosh,
And
amazing.
then attack
Yeah,
and then
great.
move.
Look at you go. Okay.
Oh,
All right, so we're all done.
all done. Round
That
1.
was easy enough. All right, you ready for minions? This is going to be a this is a
I don't know how it
process.
works, but
we'll,
yeah.
We'll learn it once and then we'll be good forever. So determine the winner. Each friendly hero and minion who has line of sight to the control token provides +1 control. So let's start on number 1 here.
Okay.
So I've got 1 hero, 1 minion that can see this thing within 3 and no line of sight blocking. So that is 2. You have 1.
That's yours.
Oh, I've got 3 in a come from behind victory. And then you've got 1, 2.
Okay.
All right, so I'm 3, you're 2. Then we reveal each lead card under friendly heroes with line of sight to the control token. So this one has a +3. This one has nothing.
I had a +1.
Oh.
So I have
a 6. What do you got?
3.
6 to 3. Okay, done. Select at most one of these cards to increase the base control value by the mana cost of the lead card. I did not know that. So this game is very controlled. You choose one lead card, even if you have 2 heroes, each with a lead card. Sorry. It's all right. We'll play again. And then
No, it worked out beautifully.
we apply the damage. Distribute the damage to enemy minions first. So I need to distribute 3.
Okay.
So there's 1.
1.
Then, if there are no enemy minions left, apply the remaining damage to an enemy tower or nexus within 3 of the control token. 1, 2, 3. Handily on the first turn, it is never there. So that's how we do that. And then we advance the control token.
1 for every difference.
The winner advances the control token a number of hexes equal to the difference between control values. Must move directly toward the closest enemy tower token and stop as soon as it is adjacent to 1. It ignores blocking elements while moving. It can end its movement in the same hex as miniatures, but it cannot enter the dome. That's the only rule. After it's been moved, the players reposition their existing minions on this lane, starting from the winner. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3. A nice aggressive posture.
And it's 3 even though I lost a minion.
That's right, yeah. It's the total, not in addition. Okay, and then rules for placing minions. They have to be repositioned in the case of this one, or spawned in the case of new ones, as close to the control token and with line of sight to it. So, first, a reposition. Do you have any to reposition? No, you don't.
You destroyed all of my minions.
So then I spawn 2 minions. I guess I'll keep it to these. And so they've got to be as close as possible. So that's within 1, within line of sight. Although, I kind of want to hide them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's within 1, and also line of sight. Then you spawn 2, and 1 has to go on the control point itself.
And currently the which minion doesn't matter.
I don't think so.
According to how we're doing it.
Not, yeah.
I like the guys with the hats anyway.
And then you can cohabitate any of mine, or you can put one on yours.
That's your person, so let's hide over here.
Okay, cool. So that's it. And then we'll do that again over here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 things in line of sight. You have 1.
Yep.
3 to 1, and then lead cards. I've got another 3.
I also have a 3.
6 versus 4. So we will resolve that for 2. There's no minions to kill and no towers to kill, so I kind of overshot that. I wasted a 3 mana cost thing. And then I won by 2?
Yep.
3 to 1, yeah. So let's go 1, 2. And then reposition, so 1 has to go here. Let's put 1 here.
Okay.
And then spawn 2. Here and here.
All right, so I have to spawn 1 here. I'll put the other one back here.
Nice. All right, done. Looks like we know what we're doing already.
Magic.
And then we do the power dome. Okay, so who controls this here?
I have 2 tier 1, and I have a
Yes.
lead card.
I have no lead cards.
So I have 2, so it's 4 to 1.
4 to 1. Okay, let's see what that does. The winner of the lead of a control token in a dome. Place the outsider following the placement rule written on its card. So go ahead and read the outsider. I don't believe we have the outsider card, do we, Bryce? Okay, so we'll just, this is how it works.
The outsider. Place the outsider anywhere across this dome's perimeter. The outsider cannot move. Let me read the rest of him before I decide where to put him. Divine Conduit. Target friendly hero takes a worship action, which we're not using those. Shockwave deals 0+, so you top card of your deck, piercing damage to target hero and push them 2 hexes.
Piercing is minus armor, which I did forget on Bearman many times. So I'm going to give myself 2 health.
Instill energy. Draw 1 power card. And then he has a ranged attack that does 3+, 20 health, and 2 armor. So is this someone I can use on my turn?
You can also use move, attack, and skirmish actions, or anything on the outsider card. Each action or spell costs 1 action point and cannot be taken more than once. So basically you take a mini turn with the outsider. Move, attack, skirmish, or use anything on the card. And you cannot play power cards during this phase. And you'll leave the outsider where it is, and then whoever takes control next turn will pick it up at that spot.
Let's go here.
Okay. You can place them anywhere is what it says, basically?
Yeah.
All right.
On the perimeter.
So now take your 3 actions. This is cool.
With him right now.
Yeah. Right
Oh.
now. Yeah.
I thought it was like later.
No, it happens now, and then that's the end of the turn.
Great. That bear's going downtown. So let's start with an attack. 3+.
All right.
Ready?
Bring in a card.
+1, so 4 damage.
4 -1 armor, so I take 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Then
Can he do it?
I will. It's crazy. The only 2 I can do. So Shockwave deals 0+ piercing damage to target hero and push them 2 hexes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go there again.
Okay.
+1, so 1.
1 damage. Unavoidable because of piercing, and then you push me 2 hexes. I believe a push must be away.
We did it. Then I'll instill energy, draw a power card.
All right. Nice. And then we'll leave the outsider where it is. Now, I see that the outsider has like armor and health, and I'm going to guess that one of these cards is like killing the outsider will win you the game.
So they're saying outsider, one of his hexes has to be outside the dome,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
So,
You could place them like right here, yeah?
well, you were there, so you can't go. Like,
What about like in this pocket? Because you can place them anywhere, right?
but I want him to be, because I pushed you,
I push you.
because you're close to the edge. Yeah, this is fine. And you were here, and then it's still the same result.
Okay, and you got 1 outside. Is that
Yep.
what does it say on the card? Just so I'm hip to it.
It says place the outsider anywhere across the dome's perimeter.
Across the perimeter. That's what that means. Okay, I see.
Solved it.
Okay, cool. So then there, and then you hit me here.
Mhm.
Is that right? Because you have range.
Yep.
And everything's cool. I believe it. And you look,
Ship
you're-
it.
You're being held by this little.
Jeremy, the other chat is on Facebook. He's asking on YouTube where the other chat is that we're responding to. There's Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. All the chats we're seeing come through the same channel.
All right, end of turn. Discard all power cards from heroes. Draw 2 new power cards. Done. Discard card from hand until you're below 7, if you ever have more than 7.
Not going to be a problem.
Ready everybody who is exhausted. And then increase the mana counter to 1 and spawn any defeated heroes. And you'll notice that the first player does not shift.
You're always the first player.
I'm always the first player. So we've established the order.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay.
You ever feel like it's time
Well, hello,
to get down to business?
Mr. Bun.
Mr. Bun.
Okay, let me remember who my people are. Now, if I just crash through this right tower, that puts immense pressure on you to do something about it.
That's how you win the game.
Some would say that's how you win. Okay. I could also try to do the double slide, which would win the invasion. And I've got 4-2 over here already, with both heroes destined to do that. So first action, and really, can I take it to the mat with this one? Oof. Hero on target hex. Target hex adjacent and apply slow. Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
What's slow do?
Half your movement, I think. It's right here. Move action is decreased by 2.
Wow.
Just move forward, repeat the effect on a different. Oh my. How cool. Wow, you really set up there to be pretty good at this. You sure you didn't know what you were doing?
What are you talking about? I know nothing.
We've got a good setup here too. Okay, let's start with Akhuti, Radiant Voice. So we're gonna keep the pressure on with this. We're gonna go a move, 1, 2, 3. We're going to declare an attack here. You're in cover, but I have an adjacent friendly hero, so I'm spotting you out. So declare an attack.
Greg asking win conditions. Yes, they're right breach, invasion, and Skytear Master. Do you also have those cards? Okay.
Target hero on target hex adjacent to the caster. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to attack. And I'm not going to play any fancy stuff.
Let me see if I want to play any fancy stuff.
Yeah, Greg, that's right. Right Breach, Invasion, and Skytear Mastery.
All right. I won't do anything.
All right. So attack is 2 plus card. 2 plus 2. 4. You got any armor?
Yep. 1. And I had
You
1
do.
last time.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Learning.
And then finally, lead.
Well in.
Exhausted.
Well in. All right. Mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Cotlic. He's going to skirmish.
And 0 plus X.
0 plus X. Plus 3.
2.
Down to 1.
Probably should have gone with him first, huh?
Then I will attack. And this is 3 plus. I'm
Yeah,
going to
let's
pass
see.
my opportunity for the
See if I
stack.
got any reactions here. I do not have any reactions.
Make it 4. This token goes over there, right?
Yeah, it does, technically. But also, the mini could go there, too.
So if you had went with him, would he be exhausted and go?
Yeah, he would have gone to 4 if he was exhausted, yeah.
You always miss a turn.
So you always miss a turn.
It's either this
it's a
turn or next
cool,
turn.
It's a very cool mechanic. All right, so this goes up here.
Okay.
So he's waiting to come in.
Then,
And then you get something. I think
now
you get,
or in the future?
I think you immediately draw 2 cards. Let me make sure.
I like the sound of that.
There's a power card section here somewhere. And I am going by everything that isn't that section of this rule book. Okay, defeat an enemy hero, draw 2 cards. Boom, just like that.
Boom, roasted. Anything else?
That's it.
Let me just read these real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, they have this outsider expansion. Daniel and Greg, you guys are correct. Very cool. Different outsiders do different things.
Let's go ahead and use my last action to lead.
Okay. Okay, I might need some help with this one.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I know, it's devastating.
I feel like your minions are a problem.
Yeah, that's how you should feel. If it's a good Dota-style game.
Like for real though.
For real, yes. For very real.
Because like there's not a lot of options for getting rid of a bunch of them. Like I don't have a.
Mm-hmm. Like a big hurricane attack kind of thing. Okay, so these are your people too, aren't they?
What's my people?
Effect and a different end. Okay, so I need to find a way. That's just not going to be a thing that I can
What? I'm reading the abilities now.
do. Yeah. Yeah, now you start to see it's like, whale. Hello.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say Yami. Yami, the first time she moves through an enemy, she does a damage to it.
Wow. Pretty good.
Just walk through those minions, whoosh.
Okay, we're going to try to go for the gusto here. So Haburet is going to activate, and we're going to do... Let's start with an attack.
Who is doing this?
Haburet to Tequila?
Tlakali.
Tlakali. Tlakali is going
Tlakali.
to get attacked. I have no reaction to play.
Let me just read my cards. But hold on,
But
I went here. So cards have resources. If I use those, I play them here. That way we can show that heroes use their resources this
you can
turn.
use up to 2 per hero.
And you haven't moved with your hero yet?
I've not moved with a hero. Should I have or should I not have? Am I glad that I didn't?
What's disarm do? I'll read this. Hold on. It's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna play a card. You ready?
Yes.
Crawling Darkness. Apply disarm and slow to target enemy hero.
Okay, so that goes to the stack.
It's in the stack.
Then I can respond if I want. I'm not going to respond.
All right, you are disarmed and slow.
All right, I'll take a disarm token, and I'll take a slow token.
Get that snail.
Get that snail, though. Okay, and then my attack resolves. But what does disarm mean? Attack actions deal half of the damage rounded up. Yikes.
Party on.
All right, so I'm going to reveal 2 cards. I'm at 4 plus 1 or plus 2. I'll take the plus 2.
So you're at 6.
So I'm at 6. Rounded up is 3. And then your armor takes in for -1.
So I take 2.
You take 2.
It's a slow-moving
The
train.
disarm's kind of a bummer. Now I need to rethink my ideas.
And that goes to the end of your activation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've got 2 actions remaining.
Beautiful. Daniel Scott, you have been snailed.
So now...
Wait until I see my Yuki.
Yeah.
Is that in that box over there? Can you have that box real quick?
Oh, I know how this works now. This
I
one?
just want to look at the back of it, yeah.
Yeah. That's what that card's for.
Yep, my Yuki. With the lantern spirits, come on. Did you see the lantern coming out of that smoke thing right here? Look at this, right there where my thumb is. See
Yeah,
that
that's
lantern
pretty
coming
color.
out?
Kind of makes me want to paint him, even though I never will.
Yeah, good luck. I've been making progress on my models.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still planning on having a Arena Rex weekend. Just slam it down.
Well, good luck.
It would not take long.
All right, how about this? How about this? I fear the worst. Man, I'm just disabled.
Conditions are removed when a hero exhausts.
All right, that's going to do a whole lot of nothing. How about I can do a move and then maybe a lead? That seems reasonable.
Don't remember your -2 movement points.
Yeah, that is relevant, isn't it? So I can move 1?
Yep, that is the math. 3 minus 2.
So what does that mean for skirmish? Move action, oh, it's just the move action. Okay, so skirmish, I can still skirmish however I want. I think. Unless, maybe not.
No, you'll be able to move. Because it's just the move action.
Okay. All right, let's do this then. Let's do a skirmish. Skirmish, skirmish, 0 plus. You ready?
Yep.
Nothing? Well, technically 1, but then your armor takes it
Soaked.
because I'm disarmed. And then we're going to lead.
So you attacked, skirmished, led.
Mm-hmm.
Classic,
Yep.
really. All right.
Michael, I don't think these Crisis minis are getting paint. The Crisis Protocol miniatures. Maybe. I don't know. You've been painting them.
mine getting
You've been
painted.
painting them. You've been painting them. Oh, and I get to get these conditions off of me.
I need more
It's
actions.
amazing how they're in the same family, you know? This and God tier.
Yeah,
So different, though.
definitely can. Let's do...
So if I stay away from the border, now you got a ranged attack on... Okay, so he's a problem. The outsider is a problem. Big
I
problem.
don't think it's a problem. big problem. Big repetition. Big repetition. You've gone with both these?
Yeah.
You got 1 hero left?
Yeah.
Bummer for you. And they both led,
Yep.
but only one of those cards matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just worried you're going to push me out of position, and then I
How-
wouldn't get to apply it.
How would I do that?
I don't know if you have an ability that moves me or pushes me
Be sweet.
to so if you push this person 1 out, I'm no longer within 3, you know?
But if I stay here, if I stay in control of this, I'll get to do this again.
You will.
That seems Gouda.
Tyrannosaurus bun.
Hilarious. I wish I had thought of that. That's hilarious. Okay. This seems smart. I'm gonna skirmish here.
Okay.
Boop, boop.
Oh,
Go in there.
Booparoonie.
Boop, Rooney. This is with Yami. You ready for my skirmish? Oh wait, is skirmish? That doesn't.
No,
we
there's
do the
no, I
cards.
don't think there's a thing.
You ready for this? +1.
Yep.
1.
How much damage?
1.
1, and my armor is 0. Take 1.
Bingo. Then... this is bad.
Because you got overwhelmed.
Yeah. You went all in over there. I'll go ahead and...
You start clearing minions.
The problem is, like, a lead is worth more than clearing a minion, but in the long run, it's a numbers game. All right, let's do this. I'm going to move. This is where, like, I would be like, 1, 2, 3. That one would go away, and we'd be in business. 1, 2. Actually, let's do it this way. Actually,
Yeah,
like
you can't
being
move
here.
through heroes, in fact.
Then I will fight this little minion. So
Okay.
it's 2 plus this.
Do you have any actions to that? Do you have any actions? Feels like a card game. Good, Chris. I'm glad to hear it. Awesome game. Perfect that it gets the attention that it deserves. We're taking a look. We'll play it. We'll have a good time with it. See what it's got to offer.
Yeah, I'm just going to attack there. I have
Okay.
no additions. Do you?
No, I do not.
We're going to go 3 total.
You got me. Minion gone.
All right, you're up.
Okay, so have these two both gone, or no? She hasn't gone.
This is the
yet.
only thing that hasn't gone.
Okay.
Right?
Are you sure? No, I don't think you've gone here. Have you? I don't think you've gone here.
Because you went first.
Mm-hmm.
This would be your third. So I would do my third
I went
after
here,
you,
yeah.
and then I get my 4th.
Yep.
Woo!
Yep. Yep.
Power.
Not good. It's not good. All right. How about this tasty number?
It's not good.
What does fast do? Move action is increased by 2 hexes. Okay, very nice. And I think I can just do one of these, right?
Aw, Chris. My 2 favorite people to see on Monday.
Which Chris said that?
Chris Verostko.
All right.
Appreciate it. Glad you like seeing us.
Yeah, awesome.
One day we'll be able to see the audience. That's kind of terrifying, though. Like, if you could see, like, a crowd of people watching.
That would be a little scary for me. Don't know why I'm doing that. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about nothing.
Da 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 dee dee dee. I'm gonna try to win.
That would be a good thing to do. It seems fundamental.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then move 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Golly. Or I could try to take the dino from you. Very unlikely, isn't it?
The dino?
Yeah.
The outsider?
Mm-hmm.
The Demogorgon?
Okay, let's have a big moment here. Skirmish. 1, 2, 0 plus a rando card, and it's magic, so no armor. If that matters. Take 2. Call me in the morning.
Okay.
So then we'll go 1, 2, 3
It's your move.
for the move. Then I'm gonna play a power card that is not an attack action, but it's gonna start off a chain.
Okay.
And that is going to be a Hurricane Strike. Deal 2 damage to target enemy adjacent to you. And if I've moved 4 or more hexes this turn, repeat it against a different adjacent target.
So you're
That
going to
begins
do...
the stack.
Okay.
Would you like to react? Chris, great. Thanks for that comment. That's nice.
I will not like to react.
Okay, so this is Corjef doing a Hurricane Strike.
So you do 2 damage to
2
2
damage
enemies
to-
next to you.
Yeah, target adjacent enemies. So we're going to do 1 minion, and then we're going to do 2 damage there. And I believe if you have armor, that
No
probably
armor.
will get blocked. Okay.
He is armorless.
And then my last action, do I lead or do I attack? Because the minion pressure is going to continue to be out of control this next turn. But you're going to take down probably 1 more hero next turn too.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm exposed.
I have no. You're not even close on any of your heroes.
It happens quickly.
It does.
Telling you.
Yeah.
So let's see. You got 12 there. I've got only 3. I'm gonna attack here.
Where are you attacking?
This guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what's his name? Sakoshi.
Sakoshi.
So I'm gonna attack Sakoshi. I've got a 3 plus a card, and it is mage damage. So 4.
Wait, don't we get a stack?
Yes. Stack on. Would you like to react? I have no reaction.
I don't. I was just messing with you.
Take 4 damage. Call me in the morning.
All right, down to 9.
Chris, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Longtime subscriber to the Arkham Horror card game. Always watch, but rarely get a chance to interact. Keep doing what you're doing. No matter what it is, I'll watch it. Great.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate that.
This is, yeah, it's fun to explore these different games. I think that's our job. Okay, and I'm done. I'm exhausted.
So now I get 2 actions in a row.
That's right.
Call me in the morning.
Not a calling in the morning.
That's
during
right.
This game.
Okay. I have to think about this. I like this. I like what's happening here. All right, I'm going to go with Sakoshi.
Oh, by the way, you won this the first time, so we're going to put one of your little dudes. You got if you win 3 times in the Power Dome, you win.
What?
Yeah.
All right, I know my next goal. I'm going to go with Sakoshi. Sakashi. Is
Okay.
it Sakashi or Sakoshi?
Whatever you want.
I don't think that's true.
We're not ever going to get it right.
That is more true than anything I've heard.
Ducati, what's up? Catching the stream.
Bugatti.
Bugatti.
He's going to
Ducati.
attack here. I have a 3 with +2, so I get 2 cards and I get to pick the best one.
Yeah, choose your favorite.
Then it starts a stack.
You get first reaction. I realize now that the cards matter.
Yeah.
I spent them all on early leads.
Let's go Crippling Precision.
Okay.
Target hero gets +1 attack when they damage an enemy hero with an attack action or a skirmish action. Apply slow to that enemy.
Fine. I have no reaction to that.
I get to keep going. If you
I
pass.
think you keep going all of them, and then I get to
All right.
react, maybe.
I think it's back and forth. Till we both pass.
Okay, pass.
Lifesteal. When the caster damages an enemy with an attack or a skirmish action, the caster heals for that amount of damage.
No response.
Clear Mind. The caster gets +1 attack. You may remove a condition from the caster.
Hold on, do you have that much mana?
Oh, I can't do that.
You can do up to 2. Yeah.
I forgot about that. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
let's go.
resources.
All right, I'll just play this one instead. That's the heal
Okay,
one.
lifesteal, cool.
Yep.
Far out.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I have 3. I'm going to draw 2 and pick my favorite. It's a +2 or a +0. I'm going to pick the +2. Yeah. So I'm at 5.
5 damage, and I have armor of 0. So I'll take 5, and you heal 5?
Yep.
And I think you have a max HP too, whatever that is, 15. So you
Yeah.
can't heal past that, obviously.
We're good. Then
Hashtag games.
he's going to... think about life. What did I put in there?
Ducati. Have you guys gotten any feedback from companies asking for your help with product allocation? It better be coming. It's very kind of you to say. We're an open book. Anybody can talk at any moment. We'll give you our thoughts and feelings. Although, I mean, the perspective that we have is from one side of a 3-sided coin. Schrodinger's coin there. So, admittedly, it's like it's from our perspective. So there's reasons things are done in certain ways, and there's probably a lot of good reasons things are done. Well, there's a lot of reasons things are done in other ways. So yeah, so I mean, take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, we're coming at it from retailers.
All right, I'm going to skirmish you as well.
Okay.
So 0 plus card, +0. Nailed it.
Oh, and I'm slowed too, aren't I? From your
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't play that one.
That's
You played the
right.
lifestyle
Then I'm going to
one.
move. We're going to move.
Greg's saying Skytear really makes you prioritize everything. You burned a lot of your cards for leads, but you've exerted a lot of pressure on the towers early. Don't discount that. It feels like Dota, really.
Yeah.
You can push hard, but then if your opponents have been creeping and ganking,
All right.
Creeping and
Then we're
ganking.
going to go with
Just another day.
Tlakali over here, downtown.
you got a lot of work to do over here.
I'm not worried about Let's go skirmish. Boop, boop. And then we'll hit old double
Okay.
sword.
0 plus what?
Ready?
Yeah.
1. So 1. Bink. Then I'll use my attack to attack one of your minions. We'll go that one. So it's going to be 2 plus 1
We're going to -2 over there.
plus 0. Ooh, cool. All right, fire dragon. Then I'm going to leave. Wait. Is that the
Where are my
character?
minions dead? Did you do that?
Yes.
When did that happen?
They both killed one of your minions.
Huh.
What?
Look at that.
All right. There is my turn.
Now this feels like Dota. So this is actually a moment like in a MOBA that you would, this is us fighting over not losing that tower. And it happens just like this every time. You got backup, rolled out of nowhere, and now I'm either gonna have to retreat or figure out if I wanna stay here and try to have this battle. That's really cool.
And here we are.
And here we are. Okay, so we're all done.
All done.
So all cards go away when they exhausted, which I should have done. Another cool thing is, so like this represents your mana that you've used. There's some cards, at least now or maybe in the future, that remove this from like a hero, so that then opens up where you could cast another spell. So
Nice.
it's an active counter of what you have. Okay, so now we go to the minions. Let's start with something that doesn't matter.
Why wouldn't we start with the number 1?
Okay, that's probably more appropriate given
Like-
the rules. All right, so number 1, I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Can see the token. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's right.
Can see the token. Okay, so you're at +1, and then I've got 2 cards under here. So I'm gonna go up +2. What's your lead card?
Which one? This is this one. +2?
So we're now at 0.
Yep.
All right. So nothing happens. Let's find out. So nothing moves, and we spawn 2 minions. Okay. I've got to go here, and then
And you should go first because you're the first player.
first player, yeah, or the player who won. If neither, then it's the first player. I think. He says, I think. Okay. Well, how about this? What do you think about that?
Seems fine. I'm going to go here and here as well.
Okay. Nice.
'Kay.
So you stem the tide here.
Sort of, although I may have just lost.
Yes, probably. With the invasion one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading that.
I was
It's like,
wrong.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And I've got 1, 2.
Yeah.
So I'm down by 3.
And I have no leads.
I have a 2. So I'm down by 1.
All right, so we'll clear 1 minion.
Yep.
Ding. And then I do just barely win, don't I? And
Nailed
then
it.
1 by 1. So I'll move that there.
Technically.
Now maybe there's a way Roshan can screw you up. So here, got to reposition close, and let's just go here, just to really bring it home. And now this says what? Starting from the second turn, have 2 control tokens adjacent to enemy towers at the end of the turn. So we're not at the end of the turn yet. I don't know if you could move the control token. Probably
Well, I got
not.
this guy. I don't
Yeah,
know
let's see what
that
happens.
means.
You've
Who
got
knows?
1 to my nothing, so no matter what happens, you've got him.
But now I trigger the outsider?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a way.
And does he stay there, or do you get to spawn him wherever again?
I think you place the outsider.
Okay.
So then I would do this.
Wow, look at that weird hand.
Yep. Coming in. Then
Yeah,
he would do some stuff, but then you just win, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I won't do some stuff.
So looks like we've hit the invasion end of game. Second turn, have 2 control tokens adjacent to the enemy towers or nexus at the end of the turn. So I did it.
That was it.
Yeah,
Your early aggro paid off.
it did. It really did. Okay, you think you got the hang of it?
Yeah.
You want to close it up and do a full game
Sounds good to me.
and get weird?
And get weird.
We'll
so
play
weird.
at least for another hour and 20.
I think we'll be able to do it. And are we going to play with the flip side?
Yeah, we're gonna play
All
all
right.
flip. So first look at Skytear, pretty cool. I mean, it flows pretty naturally once you get it.
Yeah.
Right? I like not having to worry about movement values or line of sight, and it's all within 3. It makes a lot of sense. And now we're going to close this up. We'll come back with a stream playing the full game, and we'll take a look at what happens when we have to read a lot more text. So thank you guys for watching. Until then, keep playing.